here's the facts on the population of students, right? Today, we are producing about 50,000 accounting graduates a year who never become CPAs, all right? Today, for the first time in the profession's history, we have more graduate degrees in accounting people in the workforce than we do CPAs. It's the first time in our history. It's always been more CPAs than non-CPAs in that space. Well, why is that? First off, I said we had record numbers of people majoring in accounting. Part of that, about 12% of that, are foreign students, basically Chinese students, paying full fair tuition to universities who love that. And, you know, they're not allowed to stay here because of our immigration policies, and they go home. So that sort of takes 12% off the top. If you go to work directly in business and industry, this is directly to your CGMA part, you're 15% likely to take the CPA exam. If you go to work in a public accounting firm, you're 89% likely to take the CPA exam. Those are pretty stark differences, right? So the reality is that we have this group of accounting majors who are going to work for the Prudentials of the world, right? And Prudential wants to invest in them just like every other employer wants to invest in them. But they say to them, look, if you want to be a CPA, that's fine, but we really want you to be able to demonstrate skills that are more important or most important to us, that connect the dot slide that I have. And that's where CGMA comes in. It's a very rigorous process. It's a computerized exam. It's multi-layers of exams. It's a global syllabus that's been built from feedback from 300 different companies around the world. It's got a continuing competency model, et cetera. So the reality is that we're producing all these graduates and they're never touching the profession. And if we go into firms, by the way, and we look at their advisory services space and increasingly are in their tax space, they're not CPAs either doing that. And so the strategic question is it better for the profession to look at the profession, the CPA profession, to look at the profession broadly, which includes people who are not CPAs, and be a CPA-led, broadly defined profession, or we ignore that and these trend lines just continue? And so the concept of CGMA is it's an answer for those people who are CPAs and want to go into management accounting, and those people who will never. The fact is they already are not taking the CPA exam. And so CGMA becomes a way of professionalizing that space that's CPA profession-led rather than not CPA profession-led. That's a better place long-term, we believe, for the profession. So it will be for those people who graduate in accounting. It will also be for people who have other majors that are on the periphery of accounting, but who are going to work in management accounting functions or in the advisory services space in firms. So finance majors who don't choose to be CFAs and go to Wall Street, et cetera. MBAs potentially who come with a broad base of information from that standpoint. And so it is about creating that broader defined professional space and recognizing that when they go to work in management accounting, it really is different skill sets. It's great to be a CPA in that, and that's a value, and we always want to, and this is where the partnership comes in. When Ralph goes out to Rutgers or wherever in New Jersey, the message has to be, look, your best career path is to become a CPA. But what academics tell us is the ability to give an additional career path is the real world of how students are making decisions today. And that's what the CGMA part and opening up to non-CPAs from that standpoint is. And you really have to make a strategic decision. Are you better off as a profession having connectivity to that, bringing them under the umbrella, the ethics and all of those things, or to just sort of see no evil and let those trends go in the other way? And we've made the decision that we don't think that the see no evil is the right strategy.
And I think we also have seen other organizations. IMA is now, I think, having a CMA program at Penn State, curriculum specifically if you want to become a certified management accountant. So again, I think it's, do we stand still and not react to that and look at another opportunity? I think the other thing that we don't talk a lot about is on with a CGMA designation for those individuals, hopefully the work that is being done in companies in the business and industry world improves because those individuals are working on competency within their respective organizations, so that as our firms go out to audit them, hopefully they get a better set of information to audit.
Ralph and I just did a program maybe a month ago at Prudential, and they brought all of their financial team in their Newark location together, so they had 150 people in the room.
Right.
But before we met with the
leadership.
global CFO and division CFOs in the Prudential space, and I mean they just flat said this is exactly what we want from how we manage our staff, and they have obviously huge staffs. Organizations like Shell and Coca-Cola and AT&T are all telling us the same things. And so it's a marketplace reality that we're trying to be responsive to, and a reality that the profession is just actually changing from that standpoint.
Yeah, and one thing that I took away from that meeting was that the global, controller or global CFO, said that, prior to that, the one thing that they pushed their staffs to do was the CFA. And he said that was too narrow. While it was great that they moved people in that direction, they wanted something that was more broad-based, that kind of immersed across their landscape, so that individuals who did ascertain a CGMA would be ready to move up within the ranks and do any type of function within a Prudential.
So it is definitely going to be a piece of the university segment. But also the CPA. That's that and strategy from that standpoint.